Sweet. Is this radio or what is this?
Podcast.
Okay, nice.
And it'll be on YouTube too.
Wow.
It's a double-headed animal.
Wow, awesome. So we're filming as well.
Here, this guy.
This guy.
Check.
Oh, you're
Here,
just
use
doing
this,
photos.
use this one.
This one's better.
Yeah,
Bye. Goodbye, old Mike.
It's like Howard Stern
Sorry about
radio that was on TV. That's the
E channel.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Remember that, yeah.
Baba Booey's coming in.
Yeah.
Fafa Fooey. I was just talking about that the other night, and how like I was really into that shit at a really inappropriately young age.
Yeah.
Like I read Private Parts in like '96, and I was 12.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are my parents thinking? But
Let's
I guess
talk
that was
about
okay.
Howard Stern.
All right.
I liked him better when he was married. He like had a
Allison.
cover of
Yeah.
his creep was a shtick.
Yeah.
And now he's just like a dirty, creepy dude, which is less appealing to me.
That, and I think he's dug his own grave with this podcast shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're the king of all media,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
incorporate it.
yeah.
And he went against it, and I just thought that was like, it just showed his age,
Yeah.
I think. And I don't know. Now I don't know what it is anymore.
Yeah.
And then all of the old, all the whack pack is just slowly dying off, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm not commenting on. I can't comment on that. Whether he's skilled at the medium, just that the fact that if he's just a misogynist, then that sucks. If he's a guy who is playing a misogynist on the radio for entertainment, that's more interesting to me.
Sure.
it is, yeah.
That makes
It's like the
sense.
character was very, like, unveiled at that moment.
Yeah. So I don't know. We don't have to talk about
Or
Howard
is-
Stern. I
yeah,
just thought it was
interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
Is that who he really is?
Yeah,
we'll
well,
never
if he's
know.
just if he's just a creep, then that's not interesting to
yeah,
me.
that's
There's a
probably-
lot of fucking creeps in the world that I don't need to pay attention to.
It's true.
Yeah.
He's
Very
got the
true.
most listeners.
Yeah, he is his most listened to creep.
Okay, this is insane. So we just interviewed Gore, and now we're with Pathetic from Anti-Flag. We listened to Anti-Flag on the way here.
Oh, that's
I was
awesome.
tuning
Thanks.
these kids in. I remember I bought a New Kind of Army, freaking Best Buy in 2000. The same day I bought the Newfound Glory when they did those cover albums.
Oh, yeah,
There was
the movie.
second one from
Yeah.
Your Screen
Yeah.
to Your Stereo too. I bought both those two albums in the same day, and punk music at that time was. Like that's where I had to go get it. Like it's so much more like infinite now in this thing,
Yeah.
you know. But
Well, and it's
like I had
just-
never heard of like protest music
Yeah.
until I heard your band. Like,
Wow.
and that was like, what is this? I didn't know like punk could be. I know like about Sex Pistols and
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
you know. But like I didn't know punk could be that real and that like heavily politicized.
Yeah. Well, that's how we grew up. We grew up in protest music. The whole culture in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania that we grew up in was protest music. And it's interesting because a lot of people, we didn't understand this when we were young people in Pittsburgh until we started traveling around, that protest music is unique to Pittsburgh. We come from an era of steel mills and unions and union battles and struggles, and so the culture in Pittsburgh is about social justice and organizing. And then when we left Pittsburgh and we were like, punk bands aren't just political. What's the point of that? What's the point of being an establishment punk band? That doesn't make any sense. If you're not railing against something to try and change things, there's no point to music. So obviously we've been educated as we've gone on that there are other types of music out there, but it was weird for us as young people to leave Pittsburgh and realize that not everybody who wrote music was writing it to overthrow the current system.
And that's what brought you guys together as musicians.
We were just kids who are angry at the world, and we're like, fuck, this is not right. We should do something about it or say something about it. It's interesting also as I go on and how all the things are interesting to me. I remember very young being doing interviews with German press, and they said, why do you think it's your job to talk about these issues? And I was like, I never thought about it. It's just as a kid from Pittsburgh, we just think that that's what we do.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you realize that there's, as a male, you're privileged. As a white male, you're very privileged. And so you feel as though you have the right to talk about these issues. And whether that privilege is there or not, I'm still going to talk about this shit because it's important to me. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off.
I love it. Like we were talking about on the way down here. So like, I got into, and that was like I guess right before the Bush era,
Yeah.
and then with you guys through that, and and now we're going back into we are back in another fucking era of terror or whatever. and how like it's important that your band like exists still, you know.
It's important that bands like us exist.
Fair
it
enough.
doesn't have to be us, of course, but there needs to be voices out there who are saying that it doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah.
And the more diverse voices, obviously War and Women are out here and they're talking about issues, which is very important. And there's a lot of young bands with different points of view that are talking. So that is, it doesn't have to be us. It doesn't have to be the old regime of Bad Religion and NoFX talking about these issues. There's a lot of other voices, but we should have a lot of voices talking.
Yeah.
And because we're never going to find solutions to these fucked up situations that we're in without a lot of voices talking.
Sure. I always appreciate the fact. I remember we traveled down to Atlanta in August and saw you guys at Wrecking Ball.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw the Amnesty, and I admit it had probably been 10 years since I had seen you guys, and I was like, it warmed me up to be like, cool, you can be like kind of a kid who's like, I'm just here because I'm into this band, and like you can quickly like learn some shit at a show, aside from the music, you know? And it's legit organizations, you know? You guys are really aligned yourself with like...
Amnesty International is an organization that actually saves people's lives, and when you are in a jail, and this can happen in the States too, where the ICE is rounding up people in the States as we speak. So it's not just in Zimbabwe or in other countries. It happens in the U.S. And organizations like Amnesty International make sure that people remember that you exist, because when the powerful can make you disappear and nobody knows where you are, they can do anything they want to you. If organizations like Amnesty International continue to say, no, this person is alive, they're a human being, they have certain rights, that keeps you alive. And it's very important. So organizations like that are very important to us for two reasons. One, because it's the right thing to do. Two, you never know when you're going to be that guy locked in a prison cell. The U.S., again, goes back. There is a history of Japanese internments during World War II, which some people know about, some people don't. But those are real issues. When shit goes bad, they round up the queers, they round up the artists, they round up the intellectuals, and then everybody else that they don't like. So we may be the first ones to
Amnesty
go.
International
I'm definitely, they're on my speed dial. They're definitely on the speed dial. When you speak out, you offend people in power. Powerful people, as we see with Donald Trump, don't like to be offended, and they'll go after you.
Oh, man. I don't even want to get too far into that. I just want to speak the dynamic of your group. I've always admired. Like, you've always had, like, I think bands now are getting that, but like you have distinct personalities within the band.
Yes.
And I've always like, and you can like kind of follow their stories and like the things that they're into. I've always admired that about you. Now you live in social media where it's easier to do that.
Yeah.
But can you speak to just, I don't know, the roles you guys kind of play in the bands and just kind of the ways you support each other?
Well, we've been incredibly lucky to have a consistent lineup for 18 plus years, and it is because we enjoy each other's company to some degree. We're like brothers, you know, you hate each other on some days, you like each other. But we also, there's a passion in what we're doing and in the mission that we have. So we're willing to put up with the things that frustrated with us about each other to continue that mission. But each of us does their own parts of the rock and roll experience from stage. We each have our different things. My job is to go hard and fast, and the first one to the end of the song is usually me, and I win. And but even within the business of the band, you know, Head's always doing the t-shirt designs, which is consistent over time. I'm trying to make sure that we don't go bankrupt, so that's my mission. Two is always trying to, you know, figure out who we need to talk to make things happen, and Justin's researching activism all the time.
Okay,
so we all are
cool.
have our own little niches, but we all also come together and agree with it most of the times on what we're doing and what we're doing to move forward.
Well, and as a unit, I mean, you guys get a lot of shit done.
Yes, and we have people at home who help us, but we are, again, this is our passion. If we weren't doing this with instruments in our hands, we'd be doing it in other ways. Because activism and organizing is fun. You are every day telling the powerful to fuck off. That is a brilliant thing to be able to do. and to be that sand in the eyes of the powerful is awesome.
Super cool. I'm sure we'll just wrap. I think there's something I could talk about. This good interview could go forever. I wish we had more time. I appreciate the time that we had with you.
We can talk to you guys.
I just want to speak just a little bit about the climate. It's 2017. Anti-Flag is on the Warped Tour. How many times is this for you guys? You know?
5, 6, 7.
Okay.
I don't know. It's written on our tent. There's actually each tent
that's
year that we
awesome.
have written down on like a notch in our bedpost or something,
That's
or
awesome.
That's sick.
our belt or whatever. I don't know what, depending on whatever analogy you like best.
Sure. If you could just speak about where you guys see your role right now on this tour, and just kind of moving forward, like with where things are at.
I don't see us as having a role.
Okay.
We're gonna do what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that bands have a moral responsibility to do anything. Bands have a job to make themselves happy. But me personally, I'm gonna speak out about whatever I see around me that I don't agree with and think could be different. And that is what we're gonna do, whether we're on Warped Tour, whether we're on I don't know what other tour we'd be on, whether we're on a headline tour or
Sure.
what else is going on. But it's not, we're not here to be the moral majority and say this is right or this is wrong. You can tell us to fuck off. You don't have to believe in anything we say, but it's what we believe in, and we are going to talk about it whether you like it or not.
Cool. I appreciate
Love
that
it.
answer.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what Anti-Flag is. If you don't follow it, you're already messed up. Follow
Right.
Anti-Flag.